back. It's Zion from Uke on Demand, where we go beyond just strumming and bring you fingerstyle song lessons and tabs. So in this video, we're going to go over the traditional Christmas carol, Angels We've Heard on High. And we're going to learn the entire song here, but you can get the tabs over at ukeondemand.com. So let's get started. So to begin, we're going to start out with an F chord, and an F chord looks like this. You're going to have middle finger on the second fret of the G, open C string, index finger on the first fret of the E, and open A. And as you're doing this, you have a couple options you can use. You can go with all thumb, so for example, it would be strum down, A string, then strum an F chord again. You can alternate between the index finger and thumb. So you'd strum down with the index and come up with the thumb and then back down with the index. Or option 3, and this is what I tend to use in my songs, is I'll go down with the, use the index for everything, go down with the index, come back up with the index, and back down with the index. So, but any option is correct. So starting out the song, it's going to be F, going to strum down, open A string, and then strum F again. And then now, I'm going to add the ring finger to the third fret of the C, pick that. And then take off your other F chord fingers, so it's just that C chord. Index finger to the first fret of the A string into an F chord. Alright, so one more time. The next two measures are similar. You're going to strum F yet again. This time, instead of putting your ring finger on the third fret of the A, I'm going to put it on the third fret of the E string. Pick that once. And then strum another F chord. Ring finger to the third fret of the A string. And then this next chord, this will be your favorite probably. It's the easiest chord on earth. It's known as an A minor 7, or sometimes called a C6, but it's all open strings. Alright, and then after that, ring finger to the third fret of the E string. And then index finger to the first fret of the E string, and you're going to pick the open C and the first fret of E together. So the last half of that bar would sound like this. Moving into bar 2, it's an exact replica of bar 1. So since we just learned that, I'll play through it slowly. Alright, moving into bar 3. You're going to start out with an F chord, but it doesn't look like your typical F chord. So we're going to get into our standard F chord shape, but we're also going to add the ring finger to the third fret of the A string. So it's going to be 2, open, first, third. Let's strum that once. Alright, now here comes, this next part's a little bit faster. We're going to slide up with the ring finger to the 5th fret, pick the 5th, middle finger comes down to the 3rd, index finger comes down to the 1st, then open A, into a G minor. And a G minor looks like this. You're going to have open G, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the C string, ring finger on the 3rd fret of the E, and index finger on the 1st fret of the A. Strum that once. So that first little section we did will go from this F chord, then slide up and pick down, alright. Next, from the G minor, we're going to move the ring finger over to the 3rd fret of the A. Pick that once. First finger to the 1st fret of the A. Open A. Then open G string, so the other side of the fretboard. And then into an F chord, your standard F chord. So that little section after G minor would go. Alright, so from F, we're going to go index finger to the 1st fret of the A string. Lift off, pick open A. Then open G string. Index finger to the 1st fret of the E string. And then ring finger to the 3rd fret of the E, and we're going to pick a C5, and C5 is open G string, C string, ring finger on 3rd fret of the E, and we're going to ignore the A completely. Then after that, just pick the C string, the open C string twice. So after that F chord, it will sound like this. Moving on. Now we're going to go into this shape. So you're going to have index finger on the 1st fret of the E string. Pick the open C and 1st fret of E together. Then pick open G. Then go into an F chord, strum once. Index finger to the 1st fret of the A string. Into another F chord. Into another C5. So the first half of that measure will look like this. So the next part of this song is essentially repeating everything again from the F chord with the ring finger on the 3rd fret. So I'll play through that next part slowly. Alright, and the only difference is after we get after that part where we go F chord, C5, and those are both half notes. The only difference, instead of repeating it again, is we're going to go to the open C string and index finger on the 1st fret of the E. And that's how to play Angels We've Heard on High on the ukulele. I hope you had fun learning this arrangement. To get the tabs and more tutorials, head over to ukondemand.com. And make sure to subscribe below so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming fingerstyle tutorials. We'll see you next time.